When Texas judges misbehave, the CBS 11i team found that their identities are often kept a secret. Investigative reporter Brian New joining us tonight. And Brian, I know you've talked with people who say this is especially concerning when we look a little over a week from now. Most of us are going to be voting for judges, right? So how does that all come to play?
Right, Doug. You know, you may want to know if the judge that you're voting for showed bias against women, or if that judge you're voting for threatened to kill people. But when we went digging to find out more, we found the state agency that oversees judges often chooses protecting a judge's reputation over the public's right to know.
As the owner of a bridal dress shop, Melissa Lopez makes a living dressing up her customers. But when a client refused to pay a bill and Lopez sued, it was Lopez who was dressed down.
I actually couldn't believe he actually said to shut up.
But those words did not come from her angry customer. They came from a judge.
I was stunned, was shocked.
Lopez had taken her case to small claims court, and she says when she tried to show the judge the contract,
I was told that I would be locked up if I continued to speak.
Did you take that as a threat?
Absolutely. It's a sad fact that I won, and I was still told to shut up. I was still threatened at being locked up.
Lopez could file a complaint against the judge with the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct. The commission has the power to discipline Texas judges, but the I-team found it rarely does. Last year, only 4% of complaints filed resulted in a judge being disciplined. When we went to find out why, we found an agency cloaked in secrecy. The commission meets every other month on the 4th floor of this building in Austin. Inside, behind closed doors, the 13 appointed members investigate complaints and decide if a judge should be disciplined. In the rare case when the commission does hand down a punishment, the I-team found more times than not, the judge's identity is kept confidential. According to discipline records in June, commissioners found one judge exhibited bias and prejudice against women at his workplace. The judge was issued a private warning. Another judge took a case involving a family member, then later released that family member without any bond. That judge was, too, given a private reprimand. And then there was a judge who publicly stated that he was going to call the governor's office to obtain a permit to kill 2 people to whom he was having a political dispute. Want to know the name of that judge? The commission won't say. It's confidential. Since 2016, the I-team found 61% of all sanctions handed down by the commission were kept private.
It is important for us to know if a judge has been disciplined because it is important for what's going on in that courtroom.
Carly Jo Dixon is with the Texas Fair Defense Project. She says people need to be able to trust judges to be fair.
And I think part of that trust is knowing what's happened with that judge.
It's been his policy for years. The executive director of the commission declined our request for an on-camera interview. But he told the I-team the reason so much is kept confidential is to protect judges from political attacks that could be used in an election. He also said the commission has found private sanctions usually work in stopping a judge from acting out again. After her experience, Lopez says she's afraid of ever having to go in front of a judge again. She says it's a shame that a law-abiding citizen should feel this way.
I want people to trust the legal system without having them walk out feeling threatened or abused by their visit there.
It certainly makes you question the fairness test in all of this. So you mentioned in the piece 61% obviously are disciplined, identities are kept private, so that leaves 39%. What about the rest?
So those are given a public reprimand, which means their names and details about their misbehavior are posted on the commission's website. And Doug, we have a link to that website on our website at cbscfw.com, so you can take a look at those.
And what about the decision process of this one's public, this one's not? How do they even arrive at that?
Well, the commission says that the more severe misbehaviors are given the public reprimand, but when you look at the guidelines, they are very subjective.
And subjective is subjective.
Yes.
Is it not? All right. Brian New, a good look inside before we go to the polls next week. Thank you so much.